and I am the VP of membership of ACCE, and I'm also one of the Prize Award winner of ACCE as well. And my company, Clean for Me, has grown over like 600% in the last 4 years. And this year, we're going to join that million dollar club back there. So cross our finger, touch wood. Yeah. So 80% of the success is just showing up. So I congratulate every single one of you here today. You actually show up and wanted to learn something. So if I can have all of you stand up, please. And turn to your neighbor and give them a high five and say congratulations for being here. Good job. This afternoon, we have 3 truly amazing speakers here. They are basically, all of them, they run their multi-million-dollar company, and each hour that that they are spending here represents thousands of dollars revenue that they could have driven. Our first millionaire entrepreneur is Mr. Fred Lai. Today, Fred's company delivers tens of millions of dollars in revenue and working in a 42,000 square foot facilities. Mr. Fred Lai is also an award winner of ACCE, past ACCE president, and currently on the board of advisor. Let's give him a big round of applause! Thank you, Fred, for being here. Our second millionaire entrepreneur is Dr. Zhao Xiongni. Dr. Zhao is the co-founder of Platform Computing. Platform Computing is a world leader in distributed grid and cloud computing software. He has 600 staff and 18 years of growing and profitable history. With $100 million in revenue, Platform's solutions have been adopted by over 2,000 enterprises worldwide. This year, the tech giant IBM just bought him out in valuation of multiples of his revenue. Holy smokes! Can you treat me for a vacation?
She has to work very hard.
Dr. Zhao is also the first Entrepreneur Award winner of ACCE and Ernst & Young Entrepreneur Award winner. Let's give him a big round of applause. We have one more. Now, to spice up the event this afternoon, we have invited a very special guest to join us, Mr. Jeff Shack. Jeff is a seasoned commercial business lawyer who founded his legal practice in 2003. With an innovative mind, Jeff created a different kind of business law firm. A lawyer with 3 A's: affordable, approachable, and accessible. Jeff currently serves as the legal advisor on ACCE and NAP. And let's give him a big round of applause for All right, well, thank you very much for coming and join us and share your entrepreneurial experience. For the first 45 minutes or so, I'm going to ask the 3 special guests some questions, and then we're going to take a short break, and then you guys will have a chance to ask your questions as well. So during our conversation, if you have any questions, please drop them down and feel free to ask after. Good or good? Good? Cool. Awesome. Now, my first question is to you, Mr. Fred Lai. I understand you run a manufacturing company in Ontario. In Ontario, as all of you probably know, manufacturing is very tough. I mean, cost is really extremely high, labor, material, and everything. How do you stay, keep thriving in your business?
Well, there are many reasons. We are a little bit different from the other people in terms of competitors. We employ the state-of-the-art technology. I still remember about 10 years ago, and no one's really in the fabricating industry using laser cutting machines. And I was the only one who ventured in buying one of them. Of course, as a bottom of the line type of thing to try it, and it turns out to be a very good experience. It took us about 2 years to master the skill, and however, we can do wonders to material, to metal material who is in a flat form. We can cut all kinds of intricate shapes. As a result, people are drawn to the customer are drawn into our company, seeing amazing, was able to do such a wonderful thing to metal. So our business were growing tremendously at the time. May not be as much as the IT, right? IT business can grow multiple times within 1 year, but we grow at least 30, 40, 50% for the first few years after we got the first laser, and then we branch out into getting more laser cutting machine, and then I was able to make some money and invest into other high-tech equipment, which means, yes, it does reduce the labor requirements. However, it gives us a much better turnaround time, lower price products with a superior quality. And with that three ingredients, lower price, fast turnaround, good quality, lots of customers are drawn to amazing. Mm-hmm. Now, if I may say, lots of people saw that, you know, what this guy do? He must be losing lots of money by doing so, by grabbing this business. But as a matter of fact, we were making lots of money at the time. So people finally realized that and start jumping in buying lasers. Right? So nowadays, laser cutting is not that
cutthroat anymore.
Not that extraordinary.
Okay,
anymore. We will have to look at other avenue to upgrade ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm. Now, do you understand what Fred does though, like his business? Yeah, okay, yeah. He's in the...
you do know, right? Sheet metal fabrication?
Yeah.
That's manufacturing, basically,
yeah.
Right? We do metal work, metal display shelvings, cabinets, cover panels, those type of things, yeah.
So who are some of your customers, Mr. Lai?
Yeah.
My current largest customer is called Eaton Electric. They do lots of electric cabinets. One of the divisions called CoupleLogic, they just purchased about 2 years ago. They closed their plant in Granby and moved all the production with us. This division is particularly good at making motor control units for power station. Customers like all the local power generating facilities require those motor control, mining, big mining company, those type of things.
And where are you located?
I'm located in Mississauga, Ontario. Right.
Yeah. So now, I understand that you said that like those machines are no longer that cutthroat anymore. So how do you stay ahead and how do you stay competitive?
Well, we keep finding new technology because we're always one step ahead of most competitors. So what we do, we lately engage in deploying, hopefully mastering the technology of robot bending, which lots of people are questioning my decision for acquiring such an expensive machine. We haven't really mastered
How expensive
that technology.
is it?
Yes, very expensive.
How? Like, are we talking about in $1 million or?
Just about, yeah.
Wow.
Just
okay.
for one unit, yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yes. It's not. It's a big boy's game, in a sense.
You mean big man's game? I mean, come on. Yeah. So I guess like what I'm hearing is also about operational efficiency as well, right? You use those machines to improve your efficiency.
Extent, yeah.
Okay. And then kind of cut down your inventory turn to basically run a very lean type of a business then.
Well, the second point to make it efficient is the service, right? If you ignore your customer's demand, let's say the customer usually nowadays do not stock inventory. What they do, they demand quick delivery. Say, I give you a PO today. You know what? I need it yesterday. Can I pick it up this afternoon? You know. So in my mind, I say, you're nuts, man. You know, it's not a supermarket. You can go there and buy the stuff that you eat, right? So it's very difficult business. However, our service is top notch only to the top 5 customers. Unfortunately, for me to say. The rest of them, we won't say that. Oh, please go away. You know, we don't do that. You know, but we make good margin out of those little small orders. When we have a time, we squeeze them in, and usually we can get a pretty good profit margin on those.
Okay, that's good. Thank you very much, Mr. Lai.
No
now,
problem.
it's your turn, Dr. Zhao.
Yeah.
Dr. Zhao, I know that like you have $100 million company and you sold it. Were you nuts?
See, the issue is to look at what is objective in business, right? What is it? So I'm here asking questions, man. That's what I'm good at.
Ah, he's tough. Okay.
I have to say, underlying all this, the objective of business is to create value. And that's been driving me all these years, and driving my life, actually. Because if you create value, right, you'll be rewarded for that. All the rest comes from it. And I have to say, many people, when I ask this question, most of the times, people don't focus on that. People focus on the end result and surface. They don't look at the underlying, right? Fred has a business because it creates value. Compelling value, you heard it, right? Better, faster, cheaper.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So that goes to the reason why I agreed when IBM kept coming to us.
How many times did they approach you?
I cannot tell you the specifics.
Well, they're secrets.
So here's the thing, right? We are in the system software market, and our software unites hundreds of thousands of tens of thousands of computers in the company together to do the work together.
We got cloud.
Cloud computing nowadays.
You guys know what cloud computing is, right?
I mean, I have an iPhone here, and I can store my pictures and my applications over there, and my iPhone is just access device. Very convenient. I can get the same things from my Apple Air and so on. So it's very, very flexible because you no longer depend on your local machine to do the work, and you have reliable services from the cloud, right? So, but the basic support of cloud is this distributed computing, meaning not all the things are happening on your local device. It's distributed. You don't really worry where it is. And in a large company environment, when you have like Royal Bank or Bombardier, when you have lots of computers you need to use, it's actually very hard to make use of all the resources effectively. Therefore, the computer utilization is really very low. That computer is idle at the moment, right? So 10% is the average for all the servers, not the PCs. So our company's software integrate all these machines together. As long as there's work to do, right? Like your manufacturing facility taking orders, you get them done faster and deliver better to the customers. So now the cloud computing is now mainstream. As it becomes mainstream, companies like IBM, who are not as good as a smaller company like us, platform computing, at innovating and doing things ahead of market or in the early market. But as the market becomes mature, they want to get into it. And they are in a hurry. And they need the key technologies to manage all these cloud.
I see.
So they pay a good price to you.
Yeah, they pay a reasonable price. Remember what I said? What the value? What the business result is a value, right? They pay for value.
I see.
But I think this is good for the market because they are so much bigger with so much resources, right? The valuable technologies and customers we created can be amplified and expanded. A lot more value can be created by IBM now that the market is established and expanding. So that's the reason, Amanda, why we agreed for IBM to take over.
Yeah.
Besides, if you don't have to work, don't work. Right?
Come on, you're like what, 40 tops. I mean, you already talked about retirements, Dr. Zhao?
Michael is going to kick me out, right, Michael? You want these guys to work very hard.
Well, thank you. So I guess I'm going to turn to you, Mr. Jeff Shag. I mean, you look very young. Holy smokes! Like what? You're 24 or something. You just graduated from university.
Yeah, I'm a bit of an evil genius in that way. Yeah, I won't give out my true age.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean,
but
they won't tell. Yeah. But anyways, I guess one of the reasons why I invite you here is just to talk about your experience working with many business owners. I mean, you're a business commercial lawyer. Just from your experience, what are the most challenging things that they face when they come to you? Like usually, what do you see the most?
What I see the most, and I'll sort of bring the context into this classroom where there's young people starting up businesses, is at least number one, getting their foot in the door. They come to me with legal challenges of setting up a corporation, usually the basic share structure, all the way up to signing contracts and getting customers and formalizing those agreements. So I've seen a lot of businesses from their infancy to stages where they proliferated and have succeeded on quite a large scale. So, I mean, throughout the most of it, I mean, we always, as businesses, whether it's my law firm, his business, we usually deal with a number of challenges. Number one is regulatory. So that's something that I help clients with. Regulatory environment, whether it's legal, quasi-regulatory, and then also we deal with technology and staffing.
Technologies, like.
Technology is, well, I mean, in any business, you'll have to deal with technology. In my law firm, we use a lot of software to generate the various documents that we rely on. They're obviously technology-based.
For
I don't
sure,
think
yeah.
you can really name any business right now that does not rely on technology, even just for marketing, being visible, social media, that kind of technology as well. And then lastly, it's staffing. So I think for most businesses, those are the three challenges: regulatory, technology, and staffing.
And staffing, yeah, yeah.
And that is obviously over and above the regular business of your business.
Yes.
Getting
of course, yeah,
customers,
it's work,
doing
yeah.
a good job
Definitely,
with the customers that you already
Yes.
have and expanding. But those are the three.
So basically, what you're talking about is really the backbone of the structure
Right.
of the business then.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Now, do you deal with a lot of litigation things?
Yes,
Yeah?
I do. I tend to pick and choose what litigation cases I take, just because it is very time intensive, and you know, if you can't service the client properly, you'll have to refer them away. Not only is that part of, you know, the lawyer's professional ethics, but I mean, in any business, I think if you cannot do a proper job and you know you can't do a proper job, then it's obviously better to let the client go or let the customer go rather than to.
For sure, yeah.
Right.
So, like, I mean, from your experience, what kind of litigation do you see mostly? Is it from employee disputes or just contract disputes or customer between two businesses, like, you know, trademark issue, that type of thing? Like,
I
what is it?
see the full gamut of it, unfortunately. A lot of times, though, I do have to say that a lot of the litigation can be avoided through better drafted contracts or any contract at all, because a lot of times people tend to want to skip that step of having a formal contract drawn up to represent a certain transaction or a certain arrangement.
They kind of rely on the handshake, right?
Right. Handshakes are great, but you know, we all have different ways of expressing ourselves, different way of perceiving things that are told to us. So just because we share a common language doesn't mean that we share a common understanding of what that language is. So I believe, you know, and again, it's one of those things where people, from a business planning side of things, they need to have a budget for legal services. People always say lawyers are expensive. It's only expensive if you don't budget for it.
That's
It's
right.
an unexpected expense.
That is so true.
So I'm always a big advocate of getting things formalized, because if it is formalized, at least you'll have a written document to go on,
Right.
rather than saying, well, you know, we sort of worked out the deal over a string of 20 emails exchanged back and forth. That, although it stands up in court, it would take a lot more time for a judge to sort of tease it apart and say which part is and which part is not a contract. And yeah, just as a planning side of things. And also, more and more, obviously, entrepreneurs, I think by nature, are very resourceful people. Being resourceful,
They also multitask too.
Yeah, but they tend to think that they could do things that they're not trained in. So law is definitely
Like, you mean overconfidence?
Yeah, definitely not one of
Not
them.
me.
It's not a DIY area. It's not like
What
fixing.
is DIY?
Do it yourself.
Oh,
right? Do
okay.
it.
I'm getting old, so I
Okay.
don't know those
It's
acronyms.
what I call the Home Depot approach, right? You can do it, you can help. But you know, with fixing your toilet, if you screw it up, we can foresee what the consequences are. On a legal matter, if you screw it up, you cannot even begin to imagine the ramifications,
Yes.
because you may not be trained to think in that area.
That's true.
Or
that is
trained
true.
in that way. So I would say definitely get better contracts, get proper legal advice.
That's good. Yeah, that's very good advice.
To avoid
Now-
that litigation.
Now, here's the thing. China is really opening up. Chinese have a way of doing business. Like, okay, let's talk about it. Okay, done. Shake hands,
Right.
and it's like, when the contract comes, like, what are you talking about signing the contract? I don't sign contract. It's not in my culture. How do you deal with it? I mean, do we say, hey, you know what? If you don't sign the contract, and we say deal is off, or do we bite the bullet and say, okay, fine, that is your culture,
Is
and
that true though?
It's not the case anymore.
no, it's not, huh? Okay. See, I'm outdated.
Well, we deal with China all the time, right? But I
Yeah.
don't, my business is mainstream, so.
Oh, okay, so you
I
don't
don't
deal with
really
a lot
get a
of
chance to
Chinese
do it,
customers,
no.
yeah. So Dr. Zhao, what is the case now?
There are
dealing
always
with China?
agreements, contracts. The issue is how specific and well thought out and clearly articulated language and structure is.
Now, usually the guy who has the biggest stake usually have a tougher contract, right? So you have a smaller stake, then you will say, well, you know what? Then that's a negotiation comes
That
in,
is the
right?
business reality.
Yeah,
Exactly.
unfortunately, yeah. They
Yeah.
want to have the cake and eat it too, so are you willing to risk that? So lots of time the lawyer would have an impartial opinion on it. Lots of time, as far as I know, sometimes the lawyer cannot even change much. If they have a bigger stake, well, this is my term, so. You know.
So I guess in any situation when you do business, always have contract in place, basically,
Yes.
to cover your butt.
Absolutely.
Well, to his business that large, in my
Oh, for
scale, we lots of time we put our good faith forward and see if it works out. If you don't find it fair, then you
Have
just
you
walk
ever
away.
have any situation that it actually got backfire then? If you don't have proper contracts in place, even
Oh,
with smaller
absolutely.
transactions?
Most my litigation or potential litigation is really to go after the money they don't pay. They always say, well, you
Okay, it's the
you're
account
late.
receivable issue. then.
Yeah, lots of time is like that. So you have to decide basically by doing some research on how big that company is. Is it too late to really get your money and this type of thing? Then lots of time I just walk away.
Ah.
I don't want to throw good money after bad money in a
So
sense
go
that-
order something from him and don't pay.
That's right. And
Because especially if you're small and the poor,
In a sense,
just do that.
most of my orders, most of the customer, they order from me, usually long-time customer, so you can give them lots of terms, right? A longer term, bigger amount is okay. But lots of time is just
Well, then, if you
customer
give
walk in once in a little while, give you $10,000, $20,000 job,
Oh,
and they
that's
don't
not
pay
bad,
you.
10,000, 20,000.
Then it's a matter of a decision whether I should pay this guy $20,000 or just say forget it. I have a business to run, this type of thing.
Yeah.
But lots of time, business person are very emotional. Oh, it's a matter of principle. I'm going to club with this guy.
Ah.
Oh, the easiest way is to get your mafia friend. Any Italian.
Break some
I got
legs.
lots of Italian friends, right? So I got a club, and standing in front of his home, then you have a check very quick.
Okay, so I guess what I'm hearing,
That's not his
his style.
I don't think we're really advocating that. But anyways, I just want to add, I think for Fred's, business, where it's a product-based business and there are disputes that obviously comes up with customers. And from a legal point of view, we use the legal jargon, even though I say in my bio that I don't use legal jargon, there's three things. There's quality, sufficiency, and timeliness. Any customer can at least say that I'm not paying your bill or I'm deducting a part of your bill because it wasn't timely, it wasn't sufficient, or it wasn't good quality. So again, in contractual terms, we could build in protection where there's certain standards of quality, sufficiency, and timeliness that is built into a contract. And also the contract can provide for certain penalties. If you deliver your product late to me by each day, I'm taking 2% off the bill. So that, from a contractual point of view, does build in some protection for both sides, so it's not an arbitrary number. You know what, you delivered to me late by 1 day, I'm cutting half the bill. Obviously, that's not fair, and that's what leads to litigation. But as a lawyer, though, I do have to say that the legal protection in contract or in legislation or whatever is the case, is what I would like to see as the basic level. As business people, you will go into relationships with your customers, and there are 3 levels of appeal. First, you appeal on the matter of the relationship. We have a long-term relationship. Don't screw me, pay my bill. The second level of appeal is logic and reasoning. I gave you the goods. Don't screw me, pay my bill. The third and final level of appeal should be the law. So when you always say, you know what, you don't pay my bill, I'm going to sue you, that tends to leave a poor taste in people's mouths. So even though we do want to build in the contractual protection, that should be your last fallback. I would say that always you appeal
So you don't-
on the
yeah, you
relationship,
In another
then on
word,
the reasoning.
do things up front.
Yes.
Lay out your terms,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah,
clearly.
that's right.
But when
So-
disputes do come up, you try to resort to the law as your last.
Of course.
Because once that letter
Definitely.
is fired off, then people get emotional, right?
Yeah.
So, wow, what the heck? Is
Feelings
this
get
guy
hurt.
doing? You
Yeah,
know, I'm just a little bit late. What's the big deal? I'm 120 days late, so that's the way I think.
120 days late, oh my
Those
gosh.
type of things, they don't think
Yeah.
that is too bad, right?
Yeah, where's
But-
your operating cash,
But
man?
once they receive that thing, they usually not the letter from Jeff, let's say, right? They usually get upset and things get worse. You know, then number one, you lose your customer forever, and number two, you may not even get your money back. And I'll be honest with you, the best the lawyer can do for you is get some of the money back. Okay, because usually there's a mediation, blah blah blah.
Yeah, so basically,
And
don't
one
throw
time
good
I
money
went to a
after
small
bad.
claim
Bad.
court, right? I told you it's hardcore stuff, okay? That I went to a small claim court to claim only a few $1,000s, just because I'm really upset, you know, these guys really screw me, and I'm going to sue his ass off or something like that, right? So the guy didn't show up. I was sitting there from morning until 3 o'clock, and then the judge said, before, it's my turn, right? It's the morning about 11:30, it's my turn to go in. I went and said, the defendant's not present. So what should I do? Oh, give him a call, tell him to come in. Okay, all right, you give him a call, and he come in just 15 minutes before the court is supposed to adjourn, right, for the day. So what are you going to do, right? So either you allot another day to get your few thousand, try to get your few $1,000s.
I mean, your 1
Right.
hour is already
Yeah,
wasted.
the whole day,
and-
basically.
Yeah,
I've
for
been
sure,
away
yeah.
the
Yeah, it's
whole day, right?
basically, it's so not worth it.
And then the guy said, well, you know what? I'm going to pay you $500. You know, most of the people say, to hell with it. I don't need your $500. I'm going to sue you. You know what? Write me a check. I'm gone.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Right?
that's
So
right.
it's
I
better
mean,
than nothing.
that's probably the better way to do
Yeah,
it.
because you know what? If you go after him, and then there will be another date, and he will
That's
use
right.
the tactic to delay you, because they already planned it out, right? So.
Yeah. So, now, Dr. Zhao, like when I always curious, and I always wanted to know is like, I mean, you used to be a professor at University of Toronto for 10 years, and then you started this cloud computing by accident, right? And I mean, through your journey, have you made any decisions, or have you ever doubted your decisions? Like, you know what, I quit this really secure job at U of T and started my business. Have you ever doubted your decision along the way? And have you ever regret any business decisions that you've ever made in 20 years?
So let me put the last part off, because there are always some mistakes here and there, but I will answer the first part. There's never been regret for what I've done. The reason is not because I'm always right, but because life are not supposed to be a sequence of accidents. So things has its logic, and everybody has its interests, its capabilities, and the most important is you follow your instinct, you follow your interest, and you follow your heart. And that's what I did, and that's what I
Instinct, interest, and heart.
Yeah.
IIH.
Yeah, so I remember when I first started a company, by the way, we didn't get any venture capital money.
Wow.
That's
So
very
you
rare.
started all with your own
Yeah,
money?
very rare in technology.
Wow.
Usually you first burn $10 million VC money and go from there, right? And the company was profitable first year and profitable every year, and double revenue every year for the first several years. So I didn't have to regret. But the fundamental reason in any business is a conviction by you that you are delivering compelling value, and hopefully doing something new, as Fred did, that differentiates yourself from all the other companies like IBM before you.
Innovation.
Innovation. Otherwise, why do you need to exist as a company? You don't. The world has too many companies, you know that? And every year, many of them die. So you don't start a company for the sake of starting a company. You start a company because you can do something new and innovative and delivering compelling value and make your customers successful. And if you do that, you'll be successful. And
So
therefore
you have never
don't
regret any decision that you've made in business?
Major decisions, no. It's the third one. You mentioned 3 things, right? Third one is staffing.
Staffing, yes.
People.
Oh, talk about people. Yes, tell me about it.
That's always the most challenging and difficult one. And the
Yes.
key determinant of success or failure of the business.
It is so true. I
Right?
used to work at IBM, and in my 10 years of IBM journey, I interviewed a lot of small and medium-sized of businesses. And when they talk about their business challenges, it's not about revenue, it's not about profits. All of them, I'm talking about all of them without exception. Their number one challenge is human resources. And it is the truth.
Not to say that we don't have people, we have lots of bodies around.
Walking like zombies.
You need people who can take off some of your responsibility, make some decisions for you. And they say it is capable to make the right one, right? Most of the time, I would say.
That's right, yeah.
And
So
that's
how do you
make yourself
now
profitable.
how do you make decision in terms of your hiring then? I guess some people here, they may not want to start their business. They may be, hey, you know what, I wanted to work for a few years first before I start my own venture. So how do you make your decision in terms of hiring? What do you look for in a candidate?
Well, we make lots of mistakes in hiring, right? People say they can do this.
And we don't make any mistake whatsoever.
Yeah, just the tiny ones.
And then after a little while, you say, oh, gosh, I wish I didn't make that decision, And lots of time, you're busy, you let it go, it makes things even worse, Those people, lots of them are good people, don't take me wrong.
Of course, yeah, but
They're
what do
not
you
your
look for though?
intention.
Do you
Just
look
that
for...
they couldn't, because the training, because their character, because they couldn't get along with people. All kinds of things can be the reason why.
So you're
it doesn't
talking
work
about
out,
the soft skill. It's not their experience, but it's
Yeah.
really their character
That's correct.
and their
That's
attitude. That's what you're
That's
looking
correct.
for.
That's correct.
Is it the same thing for you, Dr. Zhao?
Yeah, it's all aspects. It's all aspects. When I talked about people, I would say I would start with myself. So I would look at all of you guys. Every one of you is running a company, right? So studying at Centennial College, you're paying tuition, right? I hope, right?
Do they pay their bills?
You're not just doing it. You're not just doing it for fun. You're building your expertise and skills and career, right? So you are a company, and therefore you need to start by managing yourself. And what you would accomplish, how much you enjoy your life, is very much first determined by you yourself, and not by yourself today, but by yourself tomorrow. So it's not just hiring. Well, you don't have a choice about that, but also how you develop these people to be successful in doing what they do.
So
And
how-
in particular for yourself, what you should do, what you should not do, right? Oftentimes it's called wrong hire, meaning you hired a perfect good guy to do the wrong job. Shame on you.
But how do you select the person? First you have to hire this person, and then you can develop them, right? My company, I'm going through this, the very, very much challenge right now. I just lost my my window division manager, and I'm struggling. I'm playing his role as well, and then meanwhile our company is growing. I'm totally struggling in terms of hiring. But what do you look for in terms of hire that person, and then seeing this person have the potential that you can groom this person to be, future leader or play a leadership role within your company?
It depends on the position, right? But if you
But
generalize
what do you look for though?
if you generalize it, I think 3 orders of things. First is the attitude.
Attitude. Okay.
That's the first one, right? This guy has the right attitude, really want to do it or not. Don't get somebody who really doesn't want to, just want to make the pay or want to get the
Yes.
title, whatever,
Yes.
whatever other reasons. 100 other wrong reasons, but not the right reason. Reason is he want to do this,
That's
right?
So
Don't
when you
force
go for
people to do
interview,
things.
don't say that how much are you going to pay me?
Don't tell me your mother wants you to go to Centennial College. Or that Michael lock you down here. No, don't tell me that. Get out tomorrow, man. Right now, get out. Do something you
pay
want.
first. Pay first.
Okay, Okay, so attitude
First
is
is
never
attitude,
about money.
right.
I totally agree. It's about the passion. You really want to do the job. It's
Yeah.
never about money. That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Second
let's-
one is the capabilities.
Capabilities, like explain.
Capabilities are multiple aspects. Capabilities are maybe for a manufacturer, the physical strength. For capability, soft capabilities, being able to work with others. You know, that's very
Okay,
important,
okay. So it's
especially in
not
a
about
company environment.
experience, it's capability, it's
Yeah.
not experience.
Third one is skills and know-how, knowledge.
Skills and know-how.
First is attitude. Second is capabilities. Third is skills and know-how.
Now, I mean, like for those people who say, for example, you know, they just graduated from college, they really have no experience or expertise in certain area. Does it mean that you're not going to hire them?
Depend on the position.
Okay.
Depend on the position, right? But I would say more than half of the things you're getting from Centennial College are not the course content you're taking. No. More than half of it is all the soft stuff. It's you're growing up, I hope, right?
There's the
You were
soft
19 years old,
skills.
now you're 20,
Soft
and you
skill,
better
okay.
grow up and become a more mature adult and more responsible, thinking more horizontally, knowing instinctively, think for the other party when you are dealing with somebody, because let me tell you, if you want to win and the other guy lose, it's not going to work, right? That guy may not pay the full amount, but he's not going to get service from Fred's company. So all this growing up is a natural aspect, and all the courses and this seminar are out of this different context to enable to accomplish your goal.
If they don't have that, so they blame on their parents?
Yeah, bring their parents for an interview. But like, okay, so Jeff,
Nature
are you
versus nurture.
Yeah, are you the same thing, like when you hire people?
It comes down to a few things. Having a resume and a cover letter that is properly worded. I've not granted interviews to a lot of people who on paper are good, but their resumes are poor or whatever, just careless stuff on your resume. I mean, it is very basic, you know, job hunting stuff, guys, but when you send me a cover letter and say, I enclose here with my resume for your review, please, on the resume, put the proper accents, because it's a French word. If you don't put the proper accents, it's resume.
Okay. So you basically look for
So-
the very little details.
Well,
and
it's
it will
just
tell
because,
you a lot about
yes,
who they are.
because this is the nature of my job. I need people who are very detail-oriented. I don't know any job which does not require a detail-oriented person, not in your work, not in your work, not in your work. Tell me one boss who does not want someone who is detail-oriented. So when you send me your resume, no, I don't want to interview you.
Resume.
When you I'm being absolutely serious, because, I mean, that to me is what keeps me awake at night.
See, nowadays
To-
you don't
to-
have to write,
to-
handwriting,
yes.
right? So that
Yeah.
resume is your face,
Yes.
right? Don't put dirt on your face, because I don't like people who have dirt on their face. That's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I interview thousands of people. I don't want to do too many interviews. Therefore, there's proper process
Yeah.
to factor out the folks that may not be ready, and that goes to the first thing,
Yeah.
attitude.
Yes, okay. Yeah. So now, let's change the topic a little bit, you know, other than the employment and human resources issue. In your journey of entrepreneurships, I wanted to kind of get a sense of, like, have you ever feel lost? Like, you know, after 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, and then you're just like, crap, what am I doing? Like, I don't even know where I'm going. Have you ever had that feeling? No?
No,
No? Wow, you're
it's
good.
always excited about the future. Oh, I'm gonna
Never
do
feel
this.
lost?
No, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. There are setbacks, right, because something happened. For example, I lost my right-hand man due to cancer about a few years ago.
He passed away, right?
Yeah, then yeah, oh, shoot, you know, it's kind of set you back a little bit, right? But then at the end of the day, you still have to continue, right? Yeah.
So it's really a sense of determination. And,
That's correct,
Yeah.
yes.
And what about you, Dr. Zhao?
No, yeah.
Never.
It's been very much consistent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very focused people, holy smokes. I have a lot to learn from you guys. Some days I will wake up and say, crap, what am I doing?
Yeah, I think you and I are the only two honest ones here.
I know.
Yeah, I feel that way too. They're just lying.
I know, like, okay, come on. They need some honest, true answers, though.
Well, I
Like,
mean,
never feel
yes.
lost.
Well, I mean, there are days where you don't even feel like getting out of bed. I mean, we all have good days and bad days, I think. It's just to, I guess, if you, I mean, you know, in a properly planned business, you'll have a 5-year plan, 10-year plan. That's supposed to stay your course. You know, but
Never
I mean,
take a detour?
there's always opportunities out there. So if a detour is, I mean, I don't know for Dr. Zhao, he's the one who's gone the biggest detour, I think, of all
I
of
know,
us.
all of a sudden you
So-
sold your business. Have you actually planned it that way though? Like after 20 years,
Did
I'm
you
going to sell my
have an
business, or?
exit strategy?
No, I don't have an
Exactly.
exit strategy. I told you, business is about creating value. That's it. If you create value, then all different possibilities may come up, and as you go along, you decide what to do. But you don't have a change in your focus. Your focus creates value. If IBM can create bigger value, taking this company forward, you are stupid and you are doing the wrong thing not to do that. That's it. Right? So what I would say is that it's not like a big regret for what you did. It's the business is dynamic. You cannot plan on all the new products, new markets, or what to do every step away, but you do have to have a clear direction, clear focus, and the business dynamic, therefore you do need to keep evaluating the changes and tactics going
Right,
forward.
right.
It doesn't change your fundamental business, because let me tell you, the most difficult thing about business, beyond people's issue I talked about, is fundamentally completely change your business. It's like completely change your person. Usually it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. A company is like a person, right? It has a reason to exist, and usually you should stick to the reason to exist and keep adapting and adopting new technologies and getting capable people and doing all those execution things, but stay course on what you're very good at, right? We're not going to be a very good restaurant, and nor am I going to be a very good manufacturer, and I'm sure not going to be able to run a good legal firm, because that's not your make of the company.
I see. Now, some people say that, you know, as a business, your primarily goal is survival. And then secondary is growth. Do you agree with that, or what is your view on that?
Me?
Yeah?
Well, I think it's attitude, right? That attitude you talk about sucks.
So you don't agree with it? Like, you don't think that the
The
first
best way to
goal is
survive,
survival?
the best way to survive is to grow. The best way to defend is to offend. In business, there's no such thing as standing still, right? Right? It's like you rolling in the river, right? Either you go downhill, down river, or you go up river. If you go up river, usually that's a business. You have to keep rolling, otherwise you're going to go down. So the best way to survive is to grow,
That's
is
right.
to change, is to adapt.
That's right.
What about Fred?
Well, I totally agree with him, right? If you, the business, if you're not able to move forward, the chances that you're going to slide back. So the best chance to survive is really
To continue to grow,
continue
basically,
growing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's great. That's good, yeah.
I think
That's
it's
about it.
just that if all you aim for is survival, then that's all you're gonna get.
Yeah,
You'll
that's
just
right. It
have
shouldn't be just based on survival.
Or
yeah,
less.
to start a
Yeah.
new business, yes, the first 5 years probably you always, that's always in your mind, but nothing you can do, right? You need money to survive, so probably you do things just to survive, but the overall strategy, the overall attitude has to be moving forward. Otherwise, might as well not do business, because
No, when you say growth, it's not necessarily have to be revenue growth, right? Growth is you're getting better, you're getting more efficient, you're delivering
Okay,
new
well,
value,
that's good.
right?
Yeah,
no,
that's
no,
good.
whether
So
the
you're
company
talking
need to
about
grow,
operational efficiency
that's,
too. Okay.
yeah, whether innovate,
Yes.
learn,
yeah,
and
if
do
you
better.
talk about revenue, it's easy said than done, right? You know, because you can hardly survive. How you going to grow, right? So it's in terms of revenue. So it's very difficult. So yeah, absolutely correct in that sense that we need to make sure the foundation is built correctly, right? By moving forward to do that rather than stay stagnant, right? Because if, my parents always told me this, right? Don't be naive that you make your money by relying on someone else looking after everything for you. In a sense, it's correct, right? So that means to say you still have to, despite the success of Dr. Shaw, that he's not going to be in this business all the time, daytime and in the office, but he's always on top of the business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's basically what I can interpret from my parents told me about. Don't rely on other people who will make money for you, in the sense that you don't have to attend to it. You still have to attend to your business. You have to be on top of the business, but doesn't mean you have to work yourself like a dog every day to church trying to get the
So I
big
guess
thing,
like
you know.
the term of absentee ownership
There's no
is
such thing.
just
No such thing.
no such thing.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
yeah.
So when you go out and buy those books and they talk about absentee ownership and stuff like that, don't listen to them.
So what that means is that vast majority of folks should not start companies
And why is that?
because there are too many companies in the world. And
So
too many
go work for
companies
one, right?
means the economy is not efficient, right? There's
That is
economy of
true.
scale, right? That's
Yes.
one reason why companies need to grow is scale. As the industry matures, there should be fewer and fewer companies, larger and larger scale, right?
Consolidation you're talking
Right.
about.
Second, what it means is don't believe the popular belief that you should start companies. It depends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of you folks should have a good life. That means don't start a company because you worry all the time, you know? No, why should I have to worry all the time? I mean, starting a company is a heavy burden.
Absolutely.
So why did you guys start the company anyways? I mean, if it's
We were
such
stupid and naive.
So I guess that would be your regrets then.
That's correct. So we went into it, and then it's hard to turn back, right? Because you sunk so much of time and effort and
Yeah.
money into it. So you have to keep growing it
Yeah,
in
yeah.
terms of making
Well,
it
you know what? I've heard of an analogy is that like, you know, having a business or starting a business is almost like giving birth to a baby. But I guess this is true, right? I mean, yeah, starting a business and time, money, energy, and resources, I think it's almost like it's a true calling. I mean, you have to have, like, really wanting to do it. Is
Yep.
that true?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The business is always your baby anyway, because you have to attend to it or on top of it, you know.
Yes.
You know, if you have a dog, after a couple of years, the dog can look after themselves, right? You don't have to really worry about it, but the business you have to really attend to.
The business is not the dog.
Yeah.
I know, it's like a baby, right? You
A
know.
baby.
But
A
that
cat's
goes
too.
back to the first thing I was talking about when we look for people, attitude, right? Mm-hmm. When look for people who really want to do this, that includes yourself too.
That's really good. Wow.
Well, I think, my business, being a law firm, is I'm sure very much similar to theirs, only that we offer a different service or product. When you start your own business, there will be a time when the business does take on a life of its own. You won't have to worry about generating that business. The business is gonna, it's like a snowball effect, right? But at the same time, it also pulls you in that direction. For example, just like Amanda, when you started your business, there are certain things that it's always top of mind. You don't take a minute off from your work, unfortunately. And that's something that you guys will have to think about too, whether to start a business or not, because, there are, I can tell you more nights than not where I actually dream, and I dream about work-related stuff. And I'm dreaming about going to court or dreaming about writing a contract. It's sort of grotesque.
That's why you need
So,
to
I
wind
don't-
down, right? So that's why you
Yeah.
see lots of successful businessmen has a yacht.
See, here's wearing suit and tie. Here wearing suit without
You
tie.
look
I want nothing.
If you look at those people driving Porsche, usually they are like me, not much hair left, the old guy. You know what I'm saying, right? So, so they need those fine stuff because they are successful. But doesn't mean they don't attend to business because they work so hard to
Yeah.
get those things later in life, right? But if my son drives a Porsche, you know who gave it to him, right? So,
Well, can you adopt me too?
oh, absolutely.
Thank you. Well, you know what? I have a great conversation with you guys. Do you guys learn a lot?
Yes.
That's good. That's good. Are you guys like waiting to ask some questions too?
No worries.
Good, good, good. Now, I understand, well, this event is being supported by the Association of Chinese Canadian Entrepreneurs. The reason why I know these three really amazing people is because of this association. And one thing that I cannot stress enough is to start networking early on in your life. Okay, don't wait until you graduated and then you say, oh, okay, I'm going to start networking now because now I need a job. By then it's too late. You need to start now. If you're in your first year of college, start networking now. Okay, there's a lot of networking avenue that you can go to. Obviously, ACCE is one of it. One thing that we do so good, one of the many things that we do so good, is to promote entrepreneurship within the community. And what we do is to provide a free membership to all students to encourage you guys to start networking.